memories, I hold you. My Mozart, my one true love. Nuremberg, Austria, 1829. The floorboards of the house creaked with the patter of our footsteps as Mr. Novello and his wife walked into the parlor room of the house I had shared with my second husband, George von Nissen. While I was running a boarding house to make ends meet in 1797, I had met George, a Danish diplomat, as he was looking for lodgings while serving a post in Vienna, and I suppose, when he walks through the door, needing a place to stay, he brought me something I had lost in 1791. The hopes of a future, companionship. And with that, he gave me the beauty of stability for 10 years. He also became a father to my young sons, the carer of the family, and the rest is just history, as they say. For here we were, married with a stable home of our own from some time, till he passed away in March of 1826. Tea, Novello, and for you as well, Mary.
Certainly I shall have some, thank you.
None for me. Thank you, Madame Nissen.
He was a stable man, George Niklaus von Nissen, and a good one at that, while he had lived. He adored my sons, treated them as any father should have, with affection and care. At this point in time, both of the boys are successful and strapping young men, and given how hard I worked to get them a proper education, I couldn't be proud of Karl and Wolfgang's achievements. I can hear them prattling on upstairs and playing their father's pianoforte as I pour tea for myself and Mr. Novello, though I had asked the boys to be a little more quiet with company present. I suppose the need for noise-making is in their blood. Karl and Wolfgang, though neither of my sons were George's by his own blood, he had treated them as if they were, and he'd been a suitable father in hindsight. In all truthfulness, however, I doubt anyone would believe my boys were George's at all, as they both looked too much like their late father, my first husband, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. My Mozart. How proud I know he'd be of our sons and their accomplishments, and I know he would encourage their natural gifts if he were still here. To the contrary of rumor and speculation, my Wolfero loved his sons, even though he only had a short time with them. Out of the two boys, my little Karl had the most memories with his papa, and he often would reminisce about his father with me in his letters when he needed comfort during anniversary's date, December 5th, the day of his father's sudden passing.
Thank you. Now then, I suppose, if I may be so forward, Madame Nissen, could we speak on your former husband, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart?
I picked up my own cup of tea and sipped it gingerly, holding it with both hands. I felt my left quaking with anxiety. I suppose the subject of Wolfero is still delicate and troubling. I miss him, dearly and often, even after all these years.
I know it's a delicate subject, but my wife and I have been tracing his life, and we plan to visit Vienna once we've established some of the story here of his childhood home.
To be truthful, it's been 38 years since Wolfero's passing. The anniversary has come and gone again past December. and the grief still feels fresh in my chest, as if it had happened yesterday. I can still remember how it all occurred. One moment he was there, happiest as he had ever been, clearer in mind than he had been in the days that followed the most terrible illness he'd ever faced, and then the next, he was gone. I recall vividly how strong he was, and how strong we both were in facing our respective illnesses at the time. That fateful year, in 1791, he relied on myself and my sister Sophia in his last days, and I relied on Aloysia to keep little Carl safe out of the way. Although I know he would sneak in the room, against my wishes, and sit with his father. He told me as much. Yes, it is the very subject of my dear beloved Wolferl, whose very heart has filled the air with the melodies of love that he left lingering on my heart, and with the sound of his pianoforte in the air, I feel as Wolferl's bright light never left my heart. It is the very subject of his life that brings me to the present moment, seated across from two beautiful souls who eagerly and kindly seek to learn from me about the man I loved, my Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. I confess, when I woke up today, I didn't quite expect to be greeted by the Novellos, knocking on my door and having the man, a Novello, a kindly gentleman with spectacles and a beard, saying to me,
"Oh, pardon us. My name is Vincent Novello, and this is my wife Mary. I'm terribly sorry to bother, madam, but I'm looking for Constanza Mozart. Would you happen to know where I might find her?"
"Indeed, you have found her, a Novello. I am Constanza. But may I ask why you sought me?" I had inquired. My curiosity was piqued.
I hope you will forgive me for being quite, forward, Madam Nissen, but was seeking an interview with you about the life of your husband, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, to get a clearer picture of what he was truly like while he lived.
Suffice to say, I was surprised when he told me just now that he was seeking to understand the short life of my former husband. 38 years since he's gone, and yet in that time I fought to keep Wolferl's name alive. I have his music, and in my youth I'd given memorial concerts in his memory. I have his portraits, his drawings, his writings, every tool he used. I have the articles of clothing he wore, the wigs he used to don, and all the things that belonged to him, which we had in our flat in Vienna. Many of his letters from those days are sadly lost to me, for I couldn't find them when I left the home we shared in Vienna. Saving, of course, but a few love notes he wrote me, which I tenderly have preserved in my diaries. Everything he was is gone and buried, except for what remains in my possession. You're right, Novello. The subject of my late husband is a delicate matter. He was my first love, my one true love. Though I adored Wolferl as much as I loved my second husband, George, I dearly loved him, and he'd been a worthy husband before Providence called him away from me as well.
It must have taken such a magnitude of strength to endure such losses, Madame Nissen.
I feel my voice is lost to me for a mere moment. Although I hear her words, and they are kind in nature, I can feel the weight of Madame Novello's empathy, and I do receive it with much gratitude. For all I have endured, I suppose I had to claw and fight through it all. Yet for the first time in my 67 years of life. After all those years, all the gossip, the rumours, the lies, and the falsehood spread from tale-bearers that plagued our courtship, and even the difficulties that led up to getting married to Wolfgang. Perhaps now, perhaps this moment, to tell of our love story, to speak of him to two individuals who genuinely are enthusiastic about my Mozart, I can finally have peace. However, our story, the story of my Mozart and I, was a different matter entirely, and it wasn't one without its trials. I replied at last, finding my voice.
We're all ears, Madame Lucien. Please, go on.
A smile crossed my lips. In a child's fairy tale, we often start with a prince and a princess. I softly laugh, but in reality, ours was a whirlwind of unexpected circumstances. I glanced down momentarily at the engraved portrait of my Mozart in the palm of my hand. His feathers are delicate, his eyes so soft, blue as the ocean. He looks so perfectly handsome as the day he first came to stay with my family, back in the May of 1781. 48 years ago. Lord. It seems impossible to believe that so long ago, this gentle and kind angel came to me, and of all the things I had endured up to that point, I never imagined I'd be granted a love quite as beautiful as his was for me. He was, and shall remain, my Wolfgang, my dearest dove. What a character he was! I miss him often, and cherish the days I spent loving him. And I'll always remember, though short-lived as it was, he was mine. And no matter what anyone tells you, I loved him, and he loved me. My dearest Mozart, my Mozart. Do you recall your rose amidst the thorns of the world we called home? Before the twilight of life, there is calm. My one true love, though you've gone above, in heaven's embrace so far away from me. Do you remember how it all began?
Hello, I'm Faith Jacobs, director and author of Faithfully Yours Mozart, and head creative of Coffee&Comics Productions. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. You may be familiar with his name. He was, after all, responsible for over 300 compositions over the span of his 35 years of life. But let's turn back the pages to a different time in Mozart's life, and one that is often overlooked entirely. In March of 1781, Wolfgang seized the opportunity to escape the tedious life that he had known in his hometown of Salzburg, Austria. Having experienced a tumultuous period of life 5 years earlier after his mother, Maria Anna Mozart, tragically died during his advent in Paris, Wolfgang experienced a profound and humbling time of grief, sadness, and much parental strife with his father, whom blamed his son for the neglect and eventual death of his wife on July 3rd in Paris, France. Ultimately, following this event, Wolfgang remained in Salzburg with his sister and father for a time, and from his sister's diary we can conclude it was a monotonous existence. 5 years later, now 25 years of age and longing to compose an opera and find his fortunes elsewhere, young Wolfgang turned his eyes to his family's employer, the Prince Archbishop of Salzburg, Colorado. While the two would never see eye to eye while Wolfgang was alive, young Mozart seized the chance to rent a postchaise and travel alone to Vienna to join Colorado, arriving there March 16, 1781, dog-tired but ready to take chances and make his mark on the world. Yet it was not all nobles, operas, musical rivals, and drama with peers or clients alike that filled Mozart's first few months in Vienna. Like all young men in the Georgian Revolutionary War era period, Wolfgang was no stranger to the tides of love, nor its heartbreak, having been entangled with the soprano Aloysia Weber in his youth. Yet, while there was strife in Vienna, he was also met with a rather unexpected light in the midst of trial and tribulation, who the heart of a woman often overshadowed and left behind in the story of his life. And it is that very love which brings me to welcome you to sit back and enjoy Faithfully Yours Mozart's The Courtship. Dive into a different world, a different time and place, in history through the eyes of unexpected love.
I get all excited like a child when I think about being with you again. If people could see into my heart, I would almost feel ashamed. Everything is cold to me. Ice cold. If you were here with me, maybe I would find the courtesy people are showing me more enjoyable. But as it is also empty. Adieu, my dear. Shall we meet again? I send you 1,000,000 of kisses. I am forever your Mozart, who loves you with his entire soul.
Coffee&Comics presents Faithfully Yours Mozart, The Courtship, written and directed by Faith Jacobs. Chapter 1. Pompous Bastards and Viperous Tongues.
May 9th, 1781. I am still filled with the gall of bitterness, and I feel sure that you, my good kind father, will sympathize with me. My patience has been so long tried it has last given away. I no longer have the misfortune to be in the Salzburg service, and today is a happy day for me. 3 times already is this, well, I know not what to call him. However, he has said the most insulting and impertinent things to my face, which I dare not repeat to you, on the wish to spare your feelings, and I only refrain from taking my revenge on the spot, because I always had you, my dear father, before my eyes. He called me a knave, and a dissolute fellow, and told me to take myself off, and I endured it all, though I feel that not only my honour but yours was aggravated by this. But, as you would have had it so, I was silent. Now, hear what passed. 8 days ago, the messenger came to me quite unexpectedly and said, I must instantly leave my lodgings. Apparently, due notice had been given to the others, but not to me. Therefore, I packed up my things hurriedly, and old Madam Weber was so kind as to take me into her house, where I have a pretty room, and am with obliging people, ready to supply me at once with all that I require. Things that are not so easy to procure when one is quite alone, mind you. I fixed my journey for Wednesday the 9th, this very day, with the post-carriage, not being able, however, in the interim to collect the money I have yet to receive. I postponed my journey till Saturday, and when I went to the Archbishop, the valet told me that the Prince meant to give me a packet to take charge of.
Blasted scoundrel. Scoundrel, Archbishop, scoundrel. Archbishop. Ugh, Archbishop. Blasted fellow. Scoundrel. 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 Archbishop. Bishop. 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 Ah. Scoundrel. Must keep to yourself, Mozart. Must keep to yourself, must keep, must I, must I, I must keep to myself.
Ah, Wolfgang, you're just the man I wish to see.
Really? Whatever for, sir, if I might be so inclined to inquire?
A few errands, as usual. The Archbishop has a packet here on which you are to take charge of and deliver at once to this address.
Goodness! These are rather pressing tasks at the moment. Can they not wait? I do have other matters I wish to discuss with the Archbishop.
Can they wait? Ah, indeed not. What you hold in your hands is of the utmost importance. It needs to be delivered at once to the addressee, or the Archbishop will box your ears in. Mark my words.
Pish posh! Colorado can do whatever he fancies. Besides, what I have to say to him is of equally and great importance as to the burden in my arms. So please, can you not find another soul to carry this heaping load where it's meant to go?
You were asked by name specifically, Herr Mozart. It is your responsibility
Well,
to
it
carry.
shan't be after today, because I regret to be truthful, that I can no longer assist the Archbishop with his tasks.
Whatever do you mean by that?
If you had but let me explain myself, sir. I came here not to be worked like a dancing monkey, but to speak to the Archbishop. I'm resigning from my position of servitude, as I was so informed this morning that I've been asked to leave the lodgings. I regret that I cannot have the honour of being of use to His Highness on this occasion.
But why? I don't understand what's happened, sir.
I suppose I didn't satisfy the man, and my work is not satisfactory, owing to particular reasons which His Highness mentioned in his letter this morning. It's a feat of which I shall abide by, but I wish to have one final discussion with Colorado before I was off.
Well, as you can see, he's not here. But you are welcome to come back a while later and speak to the Archbishop then.
Indeed I shall.
Wolfer, you look exasperated, lad. What happened?
It's the Archbishop. He treated me with such vulgarity that I can hardly think clearly, and for what due cause does he dismiss me? I've done nothing to enact such an offence towards him.
I suppose you haven't, but he's a damn asswipe and a pompous swine. Always has been, always will be.
What's all this then? Are we having a laugh at, Klein? Oh, get on with that pot of soup, would you? Can't have it boiling over now, can we? Genuinely, Klein, the hell is up with the bloody hold up there? Unless 'tis rather significant or something to do with the plum pudding, we'd best get a move on.
Nay, Wolfgang here is having a touch of crisis. You see, he's been dismissed from his post by the Archbishop this morning, and it's a right shame at that.
Lord, really? But I quite like having them around. What am I to do without my honorary biscuit taster?
I cannot fathom what he meant by offensive behaviour in his letter to me, then. Well, did I not give conscience good enough for his ears? Have I not run myself ragged to deliver his parcels to the cardinals and significant patrons of the church? I mean, what more does he require of me?
I cannot say what his reasoning is, Wolfer. I hardly interact with the Archbishop, unless it's to bring the man his meals. But you don't seem like a person who would cause much trouble, sir. Not with us, at least. You're quite helpful in the kitchens.
I suppose there's nothing to be done. But let the record show that I didn't do anything to the man, I swear. Every turn since plucking me from my father's side, he's sought my very undoing. I know he has. And I won't be made to leave until I've had retribution.
Then fight this. But keep your wits about you. Don't let his ego get to you.
I don't intend to. That, I assure you. Whew. This will show that bastard.
Mozart! Please! Herr Mozart! Herr Mozart! I implore you! Wait a moment, sir! Mozart, please! Hold on for but a moment!
I'm afraid I have no time for petty gab at the moment, Schleicher. Make it quick if you must.
I was hoping I'd see you, sir. For I've heard of your predicament with the Archbishop. And I'm sorry to see you've been dismissed.
It seems particularly everyone knew I had been dismissed except me. For only I found out about it this morning.
Indeed, we were all informed. And it's a shame you've got to go. I quite enjoyed your jests, Herr Mozart.
At least someone does. The Archbishop is denser than the stuffed goose at Christmas time when it comes to understanding ninny wits.
I suppose he is. And I'm guessing that's your destination, isn't it? You plan to speak to the Archbishop?
I am, though I don't think I'll be sticking around here long after today. However, there is a slight obstacle. I do not yet have the funds to leave, and he aims to make me without lodgings.
Well, if you speak to Colloredo, allow me to offer you this. You must give him proper reason for your delayed departure. A lack of money isn't his problem. And otherwise, if you don't give him due cause for a delay, I fear he may not speak to you at all.
That's wise and quite clever. Adieu, I suppose, sir. Into the lion's den I go.
Mozart, such a surprise to see you here. I had thought you'd have been off by now. Or weren't you informed that you're to clear your belongings and find lodgings outside the order?
I beg your pardon for the intrusion, sir. Indeed, I intended to have gone tonight, but Every place in the post carriage is already engaged.
Huh. There's nothing I can do for that. And you no longer work for me. Or don't you recall the offense you caused? Thus, you cannot stay here any longer. You've outlived your welcome with such callous disregard for my authority.
Yes, sir. Please accept my letter of resignation.
I suppose I shall. However, as you cannot stay here, where are you going now, young fellow?
I couldn't say, sir. Perhaps, however, your grace would assist me with a word or two. I know our relationship has dwindled due to my cause of offence towards you, but surely you could provide a letter for future employment, sir?
You're the most absolute licentious, dissoluted, and dissipated young man I've encountered.
I beg your pardon, what, sir?
You ask for a letter! A letter! For a wretched and spoiled scamp such as you! You're a damned scoundrel, asking of such a selfish request. As God is my witness, young man, I shan't give you an ounce of sympathy, nor a word. No word could do justice for the vulgar, roguish, and incompetent attitude which you've displayed towards myself and my brethren. Take yourself off, I say.
Grace, I don't understand. I merely have requested that you offer a recommendation for future employment. What have I done that could warrant you to deny something quite simple?
Truly, you must be deficient in mental intelligence if you deny what you did. Your incompetence, arrogance, and lack of respect for my authority has reached its peak. You ask for compensation, when it is you who should pay for the damages you've caused.
I suppose no man has served him so badly as I have, and he's recommended me to set off the same day, or else he's going to write home to stop my salary. Oh, Providence, spare me. You can do anything, surely anything but that.
I insist that you leave today, and no later. Otherwise, I'll cut off every right to your current finances.
I beg of you, don't. What I have asked is for one word, just one. I need your recommendation in order to...
I've had enough of your vulgar and snivelling tongue. It's unbecoming. Leave this place and my sight before you force my hand, damned ragamuffin.
His words blaze away like fire. Though I'm certain I'm hearing it all with calmness in my heart. Despite the irritation of betraying Mule before me, he's actually telling me to face my deliberate falsehood. That I was given a salary of 500 florins under his charge, and still, the gravitas of gumption, the appalling audacity to call me a ragamuffin, a scamp, a rogue. Mercy. I can feel it at last, my blood beginning to boil. Your grace does not appear to be satisfied with me. But hear me well, sir, for you'll regret this endeavour. On the honour of myself and of my father. Rest assured, you shall rule the day you let go of me.
Is that a threat? You dare to threaten me, you bloody rascal? Humph. Well then, there's the door. I ask of you to use it, and I tell you I will have nothing more to do with a scoundrel such as thee.
Or I with you, pompous snake.
Begone, before I call the guards to toss you out.
Let it be known that our accord is settled, sir, and you shall have it tomorrow in writing.
Begone!
Adieu, your holiness. put it to you, my dear father, if I was not rather too late in saying this than too soon, my honour is more precious to me than all else, and I know it is the same to you. But under no anxiety on my account am I so sure of success here, that for much lesser cause I would have given up my situation. I have, besides, 3 different times had good reason to do so, till such treatment seemed to be quite a matter of course. I was twice called a cowardly fellow, so I was resolved to not deserve the name a 3rd time. But so long as the Archbishop remains here, I will not give a concert. Your fear that this will bring me into bad misgivings with the Emperor and the nobility is quite unfounded. The Archbishop is hated here, and most of all by the Emperor. In fact, not having been invited to Luxembourg is the very cause of his rage. By next post, I mean to send you a little money, to show that I am in no difficulty here. Moreover, I beg you to be cheerful, for my good fortune is now about to begin, and I hope my good fortune will always be yours also. Write to me by some private hand that you are satisfied. In truth, you may well be so, but publicly abuse me as much as you like, that none of the blame may fall on you. If, in spite of this, the Archbishop should be guilty of the slightest impertinence towards you, then I beg you and my sister will come straight to me at Vienna, for I give you my word of honour that we can all 3 live here perfectly well. Still, I should be glad if you could endure it for a year. Do not write to me again at Dutcher Orden's house, nor exclose my letters in their parcel. I want nothing more to do with Salzburg. I hate the Archbishop to madness. Write to me at Peter's 11 zum Augegottes on the 2nd floor. Let me soon have your approval, for that alone is waiting to my present happiness. Faithfully, your loving son, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Yes? Do come in. Ah, Sophia, hello there. How can I be of assistance to you?
Hello there. I hope you'll pardon the interruption, Herr Mozart, but Mother wishes to let you know that supper will soon be served.
I'm grateful, of course. I shall join you all shortly.
Very good. I'll see you downstairs shortly, sir.
Well, I suppose I shan't delay heading down for dinner. After all, oh, Madam Weber doesn't approve of such tardiness.
Faithfully yours, Mozart. Written and directed by Faith Jacobs. Featuring the voice talents of Aaron Ralph as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Mark Steele as the Archbishop, Nero as the valet, Ross K. Fode as the valet. Featuring music by Greg Quendel. Adapted from the life and letters of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Thank you for listening. And until next time, may love thrive in unexpected circumstances.
Oh, shall I tell you, Mama, what is causing my torment? Papa wants me to reason like a big, big person, but I say that candies are worth more than reason. Oh, Mama, shall I tell you what is causing my torment? I ought to remember to play around with our voo on the piano.
Would you care for some wine, Herr Mozart?
Indeed. Thank you. Thank you.
Josephina! Mustn't we forget to say thanks to the Lord for this meal? Come now.
Is the meal of veal and potatoes to your liking, Herr Mozart?
It's quite lovely, yes.
Josephina is a lovely cook, isn't she? It was a turn tonight to make the evening meal.
My compliments, then. Your skills are wonderful, Miss Josephina.
Thank you. It's the hope to have good enough skills in a variety of areas to make a decent housewife for my match, I suppose.
Ah, yes. Has anyone caught your eye?
A few. I have a masquerade I'll be attending this weekend that surely shall have many a handsome beau to catch the eye of.
I think Joe is lucky. I can't seem to catch the eye of anyone. Perhaps I'm ugly.
Oh, certainly not. You're a dear little Sophie. And you should yet be glad you aren't out like your sisters. It can be exhausting. Or at least, that's what I'm told.
Yes, you certainly aren't ugly, Sophia. It's just not your time to be managed. And take comfort in that. However, if I'm honest, I unfortunately have had success myself.
Oh, Stanzel, I don't see how. You're beautiful in spirit, you're kind and talented. Herr Mozart, you should hear Stanzi play the piano. She plays so beautifully, and her voice is truly as sweet as honey.
You're quite handsome, Miss Constanza. I'm sure you'll find a good man who values your gifts.
Thank you. Although, what of your own matchmaking pursuits, Herr Mozart? Have you found a prima donna that tickles your fancy?
Oh, no. I suppose I've been preoccupied with other matters. Marriage and prospect for a future imaginary is far from my list of obligations at present. Not that I oppose, of course, but it's sadly not a luxury I can afford.
What's happened? You did seem a little distracted when I called you for dinner, sir.
I admit I was, little Sophie. Unfortunately, I'm dealing with a former employee of mine, the Archbishop of Salzburg. Even though I've left him, there's still a pile of horse apples to dig through before it's over. Pardon my vulgarity, Miss Webber, but I'm quite frustrated with the man still. He treated me with contempt and called me such appalling names, many of which I refuse to utter in your fine company. Oh, it makes my blood boil, if I'm truthful.
I'm ever sorry this has plagued you, sir. Perhaps after all is said and over with, he'll leave you alone?
I can only hope it's so, madam.
Let us retire to the parlour room for some dessert and a little coffee. Come, my darlings.
Coffee sounds lovely. Will you join us, Herr Mozart?
Coffee is lovely. Certainly. Come away, Miss Starling Webber. Shall we promenade to the parlour?
I? Oh, you're rather a ninny, sir. Promenade to the parlour, as if we're off to some grand affair.
Sophia, that's a little crass.
Nay, she's all right. But I'll tell you a secret, little Sophie. One must be quite the ninny to deal with the miserable misers of this world. And that's a precious secret. Only the best of people know. Which, by Providence' mercy, must be you. By all accounts, I must
Me?
say.
Do you really believe I'm one of the best, sir?
Entirely I do. But I don't see anyone else here who's quite so fine as you, little Sophie.
Constanza, is that coffee almost ready? And do be so kind to bring us that apple strudel of Sophia's.
Yes, Mama.
Holy God, we praise thy name. Lord of all, we bow before thee. All on earth thy scepter claim. All in heaven above adore thee. Infinite thy vast domain, everlasting is thy reign. Hark the glad celestial hymn, angel choirs above are raising. Cherubim and seraphim, in unceasing chorus praising, fill the heavens with sweet accord. Holy, holy, holy Lord. Bring the roses. Ring the roses. A pocket full of posies. Ring, 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 ring.
Huh? Oh, forgive me. I did not mean to disturb your thoughts.
Indeed. Forgiveness is given, madam. You merely startled me is all.
My apologies.
It's fine. No foul play was intended. I'm just quite easy to scare, I must say.
Does noise frighten you so?
Not always, though. I'm not fond of the trumpet, I say. It's the only sound in the world that could scare me.
The trumpet? Why ever that one?
Well, it's as dark a red as the wine we are drinking. It's like feeling red. It's rigid and coarse. And as a child, it frightened and pinned me deeply to the point of passing out. I can't explain why. I find its sound shrill and excruciating.
I'll be sure to remember this. About the trumpet, I mean.
I must say, this is lovely. Thank you.
Certainly. And would you care for some coffee as well?
A little indeed.
I think I should play a little piano, Mama.
Thank you.
It's a rather good likeness, don't you think, Herr Mozart?
Huh? What? Oh, Madam Weber. Forgive me. I was pondering silly little things, to be truthful.
I asked if you thought the portrait a good likeness of my father. Do you think it captures him well?
Indeed, it seems to capture his vigour and rousing good humour quite finely. Though, I'll be honest, I'm not, my understanding of the arts of painting is limited. I do draw, of course, but mainly with charcoal, or...
You draw? Goodness, I'd love to see these. Our Wolfgang, a secret artist.
You tease me. I'm not as good as an artist as I am a composer. I hardly have time to draw. But when I can, I do love it so. Birds make for beautiful subjects, you know. Especially starlings. They're so pretty. I find animals are far more patient than people.
It sounds so beautiful. Sadly, that's not where my talent lies. I'm often so busy with chores I hardly have time to draw. But Sophia paints a little. She uses many mediums whenever she's not busy baking or singing or tending to her chores.
Truly. Perhaps she can teach me a thing or two.
I believe she would too. She's grown very fond of you in the week since you came back to us.
I remember her well. She was quite scrawny and had wild hair. Now she's quite grown up. Yet Sophia seemed so small when we were last together 5 years ago. You were. I'm still a child myself.
I know she adored you even then, and you're like an older brother to her. She told me as such. You should have seen how much she cried when you left for Paris.
I wanted to stay, of course. But Mamma and Father both insisted that I would find my fortunes there. When what I found was more pain and... misery.
It seems we both gained pain and misery. Papa passed away 2 years after you'd gone, and... Aloysia.
She married, as I recall.
She did? Well, you must promise to show me your sketches. I'm entirely intrigued. Herr Mozart.
You wish it so. It shall be. I would like to offer, however late it may be, my sincere condolences for your grief, Miss Weber. I imagine you miss your father a great deal.
Yes, I do miss Papa. I miss his wisdom and the way he played the piano. Like you were before I entered the room.
Oh. I'm sorry if playing stirred such reminders of your youth, madam. I wasn't thinking about my actions.
No, it was good to hear. We need music in this house again, Herr Mozart. And you've brought it back.
Well, I'll gladly play it with you sometime. If you'd sing with me.
I would be honoured, sir.
I'm glad.
You know, if I'm honest, I recall Papa had much to say of you in the days after we parted so long ago from your company in Mannheim.
Oh, well, I did, of course, have an inkling of an interest in your sister Aloysia. I imagine that didn't please him. The way things ended, I mean.
Not so. I believe you were far more a pleasure to Papa than Lang ever was, or would have been, had Papa lived long enough to see them as they are now.
Herr Lange. Truly. The life of an actor sounds terribly elitist to me. It sounds suffocating and selfish. Having people parade about you as if you're something special. Not that I would know any difference to him, I suppose.
Truly? Do you feel life as a musician is one of suffocation?
Nay, 'tis quite the contrary. My music is my life, and without it, what am I?
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I'm naught but a mere street performer, a monkey with whom the bigger men puppeteer, a pauper without hope for artistic expression in front of the masses, because my work, unlike the life of an actor's, is more than simple stage makeup and fancy movements. To express the sympathies in my mind, to explain the things in my head even now and in this moment, would be an impossible task. I'm always composing, always thinking and creating, and I would argue that my creativity is merely my soul firing off its truth. When I compose, Miss Webber, it's like opening a window into the very heart of my existence, and I wish, oh Lord on high, I wish.
What do you wish, Mozart?
You may laugh at me, madam, if I tell you what my heart's desire.
Never. Even I have desires which have yet to be fulfilled.
I would like to have everything that is good, genuine, and beautiful in my life. And I want to share all that I am. That is my wish. The most secret of hopes.
Oh, therefore your wish is that you want applause and praise, Maestro?
Certainly not. I follow no one's praise or applause. I merely follow my own intention. Truthfully, if I had wished for praise, I'd be an artist, or perhaps a poet, but you see, I cannot write poetically. I am no poet. I cannot make fine artistic phrases that cast light and shadow, for I am no painter. And as I am no actor, I cannot neither by signs nor by pantomime express my thoughts and feelings. And neither am I a dancer. Yet I can, by musical tones, express myself, for I am a musician. My life is music, and my music is my life. The beautiful, the genuine, and the pleasing, all that is good. Surely it lies somewhere between the silence of the notes in my mind, doesn't it? If that's rather not ridiculous to say. Is it?
'Tis not. And I feel quite the opposite in my thinking. It sounds to me a wonderful and amiable desire.
Sincere? You feel the same as I?
Undoubtedly. I think of the ugliness that is often sought and wonder why such things are chased after whence they are merely dirtied rags and rotting riches.
Really? You fascinate me, Madam Webber. My curiosity is piqued from early. Tell me, on the subject of your sister and now your brother-in-law, do the two of them, Aloysia and Lange, at least share their wealth?
Hardly. Once Aloysia was off gallivanting with him and Papa's sudden passing 2 years ago. We barely make ends meet these days. She's a true talent, my sister. And that talent could bring the ducats pouring in, but that isn't the case, I'm afraid.
An unfortunate affair, it sounds like.
Indeed. Unlike Aloysia, Sophia, myself, and Josephina are lucky we haven't frightened all whom hear our voices away. I believe we pale in comparison to hers, you know. Aloysia sang like a well-trained canary, while the three of us squawk as geese upon a river.
Oh, you're a delight, Miss Webber. Squawking geese. Silly indeed.
Goodness.
Oh.
I do suppose that's quite a ridiculous picture, isn't it?
A little, I'll admit. But while it is true, your elder sister is a talented soul, and perhaps, as you say, a canary, yourself, Sophie, and Josephina hardly deserve such petty dismissal.
I'm humbled you think so fondly of our gifts, Sir Mozart.
Of course. I've heard you sing and play beautifully since our earliest of meetings back in Mannheim. And I mean every word. I believe it to be unwise to think that one stands above the others, Madam Webber.
It's a perplexing notion to be praised. Mother tells me often that I can hardly do enough for her, and that my musical inclination will never be close to that of Aloysius. My mother. She spoils my other sisters, Sophia and Josephina, and rails against me. Yet here stands a man who had been enthralled by my elder sister, much like the whole world has been, and his candor is astounding, even more surprising, given the things circling around him, Mozart, and all that have been said. He's quite baffled me in the present moment. Indeed, quite to the contrary of belief and speculation. And Mozart is a kind soul, and I see it in his eyes as he looks at me, though I think I can scarcely imagine it to be true, that he thinks and sees something of value before him. The question of importance, however, is, does he think something of me? Is there belief, for once in my life, that I too can shine in that lonely sky like Aloysia had?
Oh, forgive me. It seems I've rather exhausted myself.
You do look rather worn.
So perhaps I had best retire to my chambers for the evening. Besides, there's much to tackle yet tomorrow. The situation of the Archbishop is hardly over. I know it.
That seems unfortunate.
He's a prideful, sodding old fool of a peacock. I just hope the battle to detangle myself from that man is a swift one.
As do I, sir. On another matter, will you require anything else before you retire, however?
Not at all. Your company and kindness have been plenty. I bid you a good night, Miss Webber.
Indeed. Good night, Herr Mozart. Heavens, that was a lot.
Where to, sir?
Take me to the address of Peter's 11. Said Helga Gottesb.
Please. Please. Lord, you drive like a horse's arse.
Stop!
Whoa. Whoa, easy, girl. Aye? Right there, sir.
Aye. I'm as fit as a violin. Yes, you bastard. It's cold. Oh, my head. It's cold. It's cold. Pompous swine. Who the hell does the Archbishop think he is? Calling me a ragamuffin. Bah! Where the hell am I? Damn this city! Damn this city! Damn the Archbishop! What the hell are there so many streets? I want to go home. Providence help me. I just want to sleep. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, God.
Lavenders blow dilly dilly, lavenders green. When you are king, dilly dilly, I shall be free. Mozart!
I don't feel so good.
Heaven help me! What happened? You're soaked to the bone!
I don't feel so good. Constanza. 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 Miss.
Heavens! You're burning up! You're right. Come now. We need to get you into bed, Mozart.
Oh, you're a very pretty lady. pretty squawking lady.
Why, thank you, I suppose. But we have to be easy now, and we have to go up these steps, see? 1, 2, up we go!
Oh. Easy. Up, 1, 2, 3 we go. Up on the roof we go. Up, up, easy go. Up, easy go. Oh.
You'll be alright shortly. I promise. You're alright. I'll be right back. I have willow bark. That should help. If I brew willow bark into a tea, it should lower his fever.
Where am I? What? Where am I? What? What?
Mozart, be still. Don't excite yourself.
Madam Weber. It's you.
Yes, I'm here, and you're safe. But what happened to you after your concert, sir? When I found you a moment ago, you were soaked from head to toe.
The Archbishop was at the concert. He made a fool of me in front of the other possible patrons and employers. At every turn he was undermining me. If he hadn't won by dismissing me from his employment. He humiliated me further. Now I'll never... The man belittled and lambasted me to the extent that I felt sick during the whole night. It was so bad that I could hardly make it through the first act of the opera I was to perform. So I left. Stumbled through the streets like some drunken fool. I'm deeply sorry to have frightened you so, Madam Weber. You must think poorly of me. The state I'm in.
Certainly not. It would be a cruel act to think such things, Herr Mozart, as I sincerely believe you've been dealt a great deal of trouble with this Archbishop. I've heard your ravings against him at dinner, and your recollection of today's events. I imagine it was all too much. It appears as such to me.
I beg of your discretion, Madam Weber, please. For the sake of my honour, you mustn't breathe a word of this predicament to your mother, nor your sisters.
I shan't. You have my word.
Good. In that regard, you should leave me to deal with this alone. After all, what would your family think if they saw you, a bright woman, caring for a wounded fool? Whose pride begot a fit of illness?
They would think very little. Besides, they don't think much of me or what I do.
Oh, rubbish all what they do or don't think of you. I think you're kind, and I see how hard you work. Poppycock, I say, and old Madam Weber and her tongue at that.
And besides, as you're our guest, I cannot leave you alone while you're unwell. That would be most unkind.
Miss Weber, I insist that you don't.
And I insist that you do allow me to help you. You've been through much, and we regard you as a delight in this house. At least I do. Think of it as repaying what was broken with Aloysia all those years.
But you owe me nothing. Your family took me in and allowed me lodgings when I had no place to go. It's quite enough. Truly, it is.
I know, but sometimes I think about how my elder sister hurt you all those years ago, and I didn't appreciate such an unkind disregard for you. All that time writing those arias and giving her stage to sing upon, to treat you in such a careless manner, why I feel... My apologies for my raised voice, Herr Mozart. It was forward and unbecoming of me.
You are forgiven.
Still, I do feel obligated to show you better hospitality than has been offered in the past. And I feel it quite strongly.
I'm baffled, I admit. However, I am grateful for your care, Miss Weber.
I'm humbled to assist. Now then, here, drink some more of this. I know the tea is terrible, but it should help. Easy now, not so fast. Easy.
Yes. Thank you.
Of course. This should help bring down that fever of yours.
Yes. Thank you. Heaven spare me. Perhaps it's the fever or my current state of mind, but... Oh, I swear she looks like an angel in this dim light. She's absolutely beautiful. And her heart is kind. She's unexpected. Once again, completely unexpected. And she puzzles me.
I'm going to take care of you. I promise. Now then, I think, if I may, we should get you out of those soaking wet clothes. It'll do you no good to sleep in them.
I think I can manage that, madam.
Oh goodness me. My deepest apologies. I didn't mean to seem as if I was suggesting impropriety, sir. Or that you're less than capable of dressing yourself. I only meant an offer to assist you given you felt so well. I would hate for you to fall again.
No harm done. All is well. Besides, I could use a little help. Goodness! It feels like I'm being tossed about on a rocky carriage ride.
You can sit down if you feel unwell.
Indeed I shall. I may fall otherwise if I don't.
That would be no good. I'm ashamed I must ask you. Where do you keep your night clothes, sir?
Oh, the locker. At the foot of the bed. I keep most of what little I have in there.
I'll go so you can slip into your night clothes, sir, but if you do need me, please shout. I'm only down the hall, and I'll help you if need be.
Certainly. I'll be sure to do so, Miss Weber. She's quite a puzzle to me, Miss Constanza Weber. But she's a kind and charming puzzle, yes, indeed. She makes me laugh, and I'm grateful she was here tonight. After all, who knows what would have happened if I had returned to an empty house? Of all the things I have to wonder, why is there something about her that seems to make my heart flutter? What a puzzle indeed.
Achoo! Achoo!
Constanza, what's this all about?
You need to bathe, and I shall turn around until you're in, as I intend to help you.
What?
I'm going to help you bathe. Now, into the tub. Clothes off and into the tub.
I am quite capable of bathing myself, madam.
Right. Clothes off, wash tub, now.
Fine. Shut your eyes or just turn around or something. Oh, this is improper to the highest degree.
Perhaps, but you're sick, and I won't have you passing out in the wash tub. Now then, my eyes are shut. Do get undressed and don't fuss.
I'm in, ninny head.
Good. Perhaps while I'm at this, I'll wash away the soured look upon your face.
Bloody hell! Are you trying to drown me?
No, just your oh-so-sunny disposition.
Heavens me. I swear if anyone sees us, what in the world will they think?
I doubt much will be thought of it, other than I'm taking care of an ill friend. At least, I hope you'll eventually consider me one after all this. I know I was but a mere child when we first met 5 years ago. But I'm a young woman now, and I hope, however long you stay with us, that you'll come to consider me a companion, a friend.
I don't have many friends. I'll be honest. Never had the time for friendship as a small boy. You see, My father always had my sister and I on the move to perform. People came and people went. I remember I cried once because I forgot to say farewell to some boys that were my age. We played together. And then it was all over. Of course, I suppose it wasn't meant to last. I was always so sick, or busy with music that I didn't have time to make proper lifelong friends.
That seems rather lonely. Didn't you have anyone waiting for you back home when you weren't travelling? It's never too late to start.
You have a funny way of asking to be a friend, Miss Webber.
Well, I suppose one must be quite the ninny to survive in this world. And making a friend doesn't always have to be under the most typical of circumstances, does it?
No, I suppose it doesn't. There, now we're even.
So that's how you want to play it, huh?
Oh, putting on the brave breeches now, are we?
Indeed I am.
You're ridiculous.
As are you.
Stop it! Stop it!
This is the great Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart ticklish?
No, I certainly am not. No,
Oh, really?
no.
I thought you certainly were not ticklish, sir. But let's see. What about now?
Please, I can't. Please, I can't. I can't. Please, I can't.
I'm a scrub, silly.
Please, I can't. Oh, please. This is the most improper. Lord, I fear, what would your mother say if she saw this?
I must scrub there, silly.
Oh. It tickles. It tickles so much. Oh, please. Miss Webber.
Perhaps it is improper. I apologize. I shan't do it again.
Miss Webber. But it tickles so much. Oh, please. Miss Webber. You lie, Miss Webber. No fair. I must say, that was kind of you. If not at times a bit ridiculous. But thank you for all you've given me today, including the laugh.
Always. After all, I promised I'd take care of you, and I aim to keep that promise.
Your kindness is admirable, Constanza. Oh. If it's not too much trouble, would you sit with me until I sleep?
Of course. Perhaps I could even tell you a story? Would that help? There once was a miller whose only inheritance to his 3 sons was his mill, his donkey, and his cat. The division was soon made. They hired neither a clerk nor an attorney, for they would have eaten up all the poor patrimony. The eldest took the mill, the second the donkey, and the youngest nothing but the cat. The poor young fellow was quite comfortless for having received so little. My brothers and he may make a handsome living by joining their shares together, but for my part, after I have eaten up my cat and made myself a muck from his skin, I must then die of hunger. The cat, who heard all this, but pretended otherwise, said to him with a grave and serious air, "Do not be so concerned, my good master. If you will but give me a bag, and have a pair of boots made for me, then I may scamper through the dirt and the brambles, and you shall see that you are not so poorly off with me as you imagine." He's rather a sweet soul. I truly hope this fever doesn't linger long.
May 15th, 1781. Dearest Father, you know by my last letter that I have demanded a formal dismissal from the Prince, as in fact he himself discharged me. Indeed, in my first 2 audiences, he said to me, "If you can serve me better, you may go about your business." And I answered, "Indeed I shall, your grace." You'll no doubt deny it, but it is as true as the sheer fact that there lies a providence above. It then surprising that at last, irritated to madness by such respectable epithets in the mouth of a prince, such as rogue, rascal, ragamuffin, base fellow, that the "take yourself off" should have been accepted by me in its literal sense. The same day, I brought Count Arco a memorial to present to the Archbishop, and also returned to him the money for my travelling expenses, consisting of 15 florins and 40 chrysons for the diligence, and 2 ducats for my board. He refused to accept either, and declared that I had not the power to throw up my situation without your consent. He said, "This is your duty." And I replied, "I know my duty is towards my father. I know of its importance a great deal more than you ever will, sir." Indeed, I knew my duty towards you, my father, as well, and perhaps better than he did. And I should very much feel regret were I obliged to learn it from him. The Archbishop then said to me, "Very well. If you are satisfied, take the recipient of your discharge. And if not, why, you can ask for it all the same." What a fine distinction! All the edifying things that the Archbishop had said to me in the last 3 audiences, especially in the last, about the pious epithets the admirable man of God applied to me afresh, had such an effect on my bodily frame that the same even at the opera I was obliged to go home in the middle of the first act in order to lie down. I was very feverish, trembled in every limb, and staggered in the street like a drunken madman. I have stayed in the house both after the unfortunate incident and yesterday, and have since passed the whole forenoon in bed. Of all the things, however, the Count was so friendly as to write all sorts of fine things about me, father, which you probably have been obliged to gulp down. His letter, no doubt, contains many fabulous passages, but those who write comedies must somewhat exaggerate if they wish to gain applause, and not adhere too closely to the actual truth. You cannot fail to appreciate the officiousness of this gentleman, but flying into a passion for I have too much regard for my health and life to do so. It pains me enough when I'm forced to endure it. I will now tell you the chief reproach brought against my servants. I did not know that I was a valet, and that was my ruin. Apparently, I ought to have loitered every morning for a couple of hours in the anteroom. Indeed, I was often told that I ought to show myself more, but somehow I could never understand that it was part of my duty. So, I only came punctually when the Archbishop summoned me. I confide to you, briefly, my unalterable situation. But still, the world is welcome to hear it. If the Archbishop of Salzburg were to offer me a salary of 2,000 florins, and any other person 1,000, I would accept the latter, because with the 1,000 I should enjoy health and a peace of mind. By all the fatherly love you have inevitably shown me since my childhood, for which I never through life could be significantly grateful, less so in Salzburg than elsewhere, I adjure you, as you wish to see your son enjoy health and happiness, not to write to me any more on the subject, but to bury it in the most profound oblivion. For one word more would surface to rouse both my spleen and yours. You must yourself own this. Now, farewell. Faithfully, your loving son, W.A.
You seem much better this morning, Herr Mozart.
I am fit as a fiddle, and as fine as the sharpest iron. I thank you so much for your care these last few days.
Of course. I couldn't bear to think of you suffering from that dreadful cold.
Yes. Well, with you as a caregiver, I think I could survive 1,000 colds. Your daughter is the most extraordinary nurse, Cecilia, and I appreciate the consideration for my well-being. You must be proud of her kindness, for certain.
Well, she's nothing if not exceptional, I suppose.
Was it something I said?
Is there anything from Pierre and Johann, Mama? From their travels across Rome?
Not yet. It seems your brothers are too busy gallivanting with the funds they scrap together to write much.
Brothers? I recall Johann from when I first met your family, but I'm not too familiar with Pierre. Madam, what does he do for a living?
Pierre's my oldest, and he was long gone whence you came about into our life 5 years ago. He was fortunate to take on work as a printer and wished Johann to be his apprentice. They took to Rome on a considerable offer from a long-term client and have been away for quite some time.
A fascinating endeavour! I'm surprised neither artisans or musicians, given how gifted your young ladies are.
Quite the contrary. Johann's skilled in the trumpet and flute. He's an alto in regards to his singing. But, unfortunately, our Pierre has no ear at all.
Oh, I see. I'm not entirely sure Johann and I would mesh well. You see, I'm not quite fond of the trumpet or flute. Both hurt my ears.
I remember you mentioned that at a dinner the other night. I'm sure Johann would understand too.
Did I ever tell you about this amusing situation that happened when I was in Italy with my papa many years ago?
Oh, I love a good story. Do tell us, Herr Mozart.
It was quite hilarious. You see, we had gone to Italy to perform for some noble in the great courts. As such, we were attaining the aristocracy and the like.
Like kings and queens?
In a sense, yes. However, this is the funny bit. Once some man of great significance, might have been a cardinal or some other holy person, I can't exactly recall. Anyways, he come bounding after me in the street yelling, "Herr Mozart! Herr Mozart!" Pardon me, young sir, but are you Herr Mozart? And I, with not a hint of obvious humour in my eyes, though I was being quite silly, I turned to him and answer, "No, sir. I'm Trazon."
What did he do when you said that?
He looked as stunned as a goose before it's plucked for Christmas. His eyes were wide and his face all flushed. "Trazon," says the man. "I'm looking for Herr Mozart. Pray tell me where I can find him." I swear, he nearly soiled himself with fury and frustration at that very moment. The old clod was so baffled, he didn't realise I spoke my own name backwards to him. It's something I'm good at, you know. I even sign my letters that way sometimes, merely to get a laugh out of my sister, of course.
Oh, Mozart, you're rather ridiculous.
I am. But one has to be if you're to survive a world of pompous snakes and vipers in our society. I mean, what is life without laughter? I think it's been quite a dull one indeed.
I'm going to pour the coffee, I believe. Would you care for some, sir?
Yes, indeed, thank you. I'm rather fond of it. It's not quite like wine or tea, but it does wonders for one's energy and creativity.
Mama, is there anything of value for me in the mail this morning?
I suppose you'll just have to dig through and see.
Are you waiting on something important, Sophia?
Possibly.
A love letter.
Unfortunately, that's a secret.
Yes, indeed. The best secrets are kept close to one's heart, you know. And, of course, we must have them. After all, it would be a shame to spoil one's soul all the time.
Here we are. I hope the coffee is to everyone's liking.
It's most delicious, sister. Thank you.
'Tis fine, I suppose.
Wonderful. Can I get you anything else this morning, Mozart?
Goodness, no. I couldn't eat another thing, Miss Webber. This is plenty. Thank you for the coffee as well.
Of course. I'm happy to be of assistance to you. Is the coffee distasteful, sir? I'm so sorry. I'll pour you a fresh cup right away.
No, not at all. It's merely a touch sweeter than I usually take it. That's all. I was surprised, is all. You needn't busy yourself with a new cup.
How do you usually take it? So, I mean, for next time.
Quite plain, but I appreciate yours all the same. It's lovely, Madam Webber. I promise you.
You're too kind. Thank you. Although now, I have to ask, what other daring adventures do you have to share, oh Sir Trazon?
Too many, I fear, to recount, Madam Webber. But I could be persuaded to share a few more.
Is that so? You intrigue me, sir.
You look distressed, Mama. Who's the letter from?
It's an outrage. That's what it is.
Outrage. 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 Outrage.
You're funny, Mozart, but do watch out. Mama may not like being imitated.
Outrage. Outrage. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Outrage. 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 It seems I must hush. Hush. It seems I must hush. Hush. I'm sorry.
Are you well, Mozart?
Yes. Yes, I'm just a silly ninny. My papa says sometimes I repeat things like a pretty parrot. I can't help it. It's rather embarrassing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Enough, Wolfgang. I swear, your foolhardy tongue is fiendish, impulsive. And stop this endless prattle. You chatter on as an idiotic bird. Stop it with your hands at once. Must I get out my rod and smack your knuckles, lad? Oh, Providence, spare me your stupidity. Must I discipline you before you learn to cease this madness? How many times will you act out and spew such nonsensical rhetoric? If you never learn to quell your wretched mouth, you'll end up in a sanitarium or worse, mobbed. People will laugh at you. They'll call you a saucy fellow, a clown. Or worse, they will think of you as a retarde. You want that?
No, Papa. I don't want that at all. I'm sorry. I can't help it. It's rather embarrassing.
It's all right. We all have our habits, our unusual oddities. Sophie chews on her hair ribbons, you know. It's why they're always in need of mending.
Oh, that's quite silly. Outrage! Outrage! Bloody blasted mouth! You'll never know when you need a bit of glove for your breakfast, I suppose.
Mama, what in heavens has you all shook up?
It's utter hypocrisy. Latent lies.
What is it, Mama? What's got your feathers all ruffled?
I swear this fellow was naught but a chore bacon, Constanza. And I pleaded, Dear God, please spare me the headache, sir. I tell you, I've seen starlings learn quicker than louts such as you. Louts! That's a funny word. Louts, louts. Outrage, outrage. I mean, even a newborn colt is quite as intelligent, and would be better trained to play the piano forte in a heartbeat than a loggerhead.
How terribly awful! You surely didn't.
Does a lamb lay crumpets in the bushes? I surely did. I could be nothing if not honest. I speak my mind. Why faff about with pointless drivel? Although he was far from happy with me. As much is clear.
Oh, Mozart, you're vulgar.
Yeah. My sincerest apologies. I'm sorry, Miss Webber. That might have been a bit too colourful. I'll quell my tongue. Hello, Madam Cecilia. Have I done something wrong?
That remains to be seen, Herr Mozart. Perhaps you care to explain this?
That remains to be seen. What is it?
Read it for yourself, bloody clod.
Who's it from, Herr Mozart?
My father.
Dearest son, as I confess, I find myself scarcely able to keep my quill steady as I write to you. How comes you abandon your post with the Archbishop? Why can you never keep your temper at bay and do as you're told? Your heated, waggling mouth will and has now been your downfall. How shall you live without proper employment? Do you have any bearing of understanding what pain you have caused me? Come home to Salzburg. I implore you. That was what you said, did you not? Would you declare? You would return home. Why have you not? And what is this? What say you of your current lodgings, Frau Weber? How can you lodge with those foul and corrupt souls? Her daughters are praying peacocks who sell themselves to willing imbeciles, and they disregard good Christian values. Not to mention, they're all for naught, financially irresponsible paupers who've once tried to ensnare you some years before. I thought I had spared you their vaporous tongues and their talons which dig at your soft and simple heart. But I see I was mistaken, and they have caught you as a rat in their trap. You should have never left the Archbishop, Wolfgang. How could you do this to me and to Narelle? Do you dare to selfishly sacrifice your sister's future simply because you cannot keep your head down when spoken to? You always do this to us. After all we have given you, after all I have sacrificed for your life, this insolence is how you repay us. Will you now beg for your bread, when it could easily be given to you by remaining humble and idle and grateful in the presence of Colorado? Is this your desire? What will you do now? Will you remain in Vienna with those vile and wicked adventuresses? There is nothing there for you but a bed of straw and dead ends. Come home, I beseech you. Wolfgang, obey me, heed me. Come home. I hardly believe you have such a hatred of Salzburg, and there nothing in Vienna that is worth delaying the inevitable decisions to leave it as swiftly as you can, so that I may see you and beg the prince for your indiscretions. Ever your father, Leopold Mozart.
Mozart? Are you all right, sir?
It remains to be seen. Outrage. Outrage.
What? I don't understand your meaning.
Madam Cecilia, you have my humblest of apologies for this cause of offence. My father's words are crude and insecure and deeply rooted in heresy. That remains to be seen. Be seen. I am... You must believe me. I swear to God on high that I have only written to him a few times of you, and with that I've only ever written of your unwavering kindness towards me. Therefore, what he's suggesting has nothing to do with my thoughts, nor my feelings about your family, I assure you.
And you are not telling a falsehood?
I swear to you, I would never. I respect your daughters and you too much. I give you my word.
Well, I'm appalled by Leopold's behaviour, but at least his son has a modicum of respect and humility. How that man happened to raise you, if this is how he sees and desires to speak about my girls and I with such impudence, I'll never know.
I'd like to think I took after my mother, madam. God rest her eternal soul. Papa gave me an education in music, but my mother was the gentler of the two. She taught me much too, respect and decency, among other things.
What did he say? Wolfie, tell us.
I would encourage you both not to. It's completely unkind and disrespectful, and I'm going to rectify this immediately. Madam Cecilia, Weber, Sophia, Constanza, Josephina, you have my word. If you'll please excuse me, I have to write to my father on this matter. Adieu. I pray your breakfast is not soured because of my father's ungentlemanly words. Madam Cecilia.
That, Herr Mozart, remains to be seen indeed.
Dearest father, I could expect nothing else but that in your first burst of anger. Having felt so sure of seeing me, and the event having taken you quite by surprise, you would write in the very strain which I have been obliged to read. But by this time you must have thought better of the matter, and as a man of honour feel more strongly the insult, and must know and see that what you thought likely to occur has already occurred. To have to get away from Salzburg would have been every day more difficult, for there the Archbishop is lord and master, but here a nobody, just as I am in his eyes. Besides, believe me, such is my warm love for you, that if the Archbishop had given me 100 gulden more, I would have accepted them, and then it would have been the old story over again. I assure you, my good father, I need all my manly energy of mind to write to you what good sense dictates. God knows what a heavy blow it was to separate from you, but I would rather beg for my bread than any longer serve such a callous master. So long as I live, I can never forget the past. I implore you, I adjure you, by all you hold dear in the world, to strengthen me in this resolution, instead of trying to dissuade me from it. It only makes me miserable and idle. My wish and my hope is to gain honour, fame, and money, and I have every confidence that I shall be far more useful to you in Vienna than if I was still in Salzburg. I also must confess that what you write of the Webers, I do assure you, is not the fact. I was a fool about Madame Lange, I own, but what is a man not when he is in love? I did love Logia, truly, and even now I feel that she is not indifferent to me. It is perhaps, therefore, fortunate that her husband is a jealous man and never leaves her, so that I seldom have an opportunity of seeing her. You must in turn believe me when I say that old Madame Weber is and has been a very obliging person, and I cannot serve her in return, in proposition to her kindness to me, for indeed I have no time to do so. I eagerly expect a letter from you, my good kind father. Cheer up, your old son, for the idea of displeasing you can alone make him unhappy under such promising circumstances. Adieu. 1,000 good wishes. If you can't, however, believe that I have stayed here merely out of hatred for Salzburg and a foolish infatuation for Vienna, then make an inquiry, Herr von Struck, in the service of the Emperor, who is a great friend of mine, will no doubt write you the truth. Faithfully, your ever dutiful son, W.A. Mozart. Yes? Yes, you may enter. What's all this?
You didn't finish your breakfast, so I brought it up. Figured you need it if you're going to be busy working all day.
Wait a moment. Thank you. You don't have to do that. But I am thankful.
Of course. Well...
Is something else the matter? You look a little uneasy, Miss Weber.
Well, I suppose there is a little curiosity and unease both. My mother's all in a fit now over that note, and I have to ask, whatever did that awful letter say, Wolfgang? I mean, Mozart. Oh, goodness, that was quite improper. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind. And to be perfectly transparent, what my father said is of no consequence. In fact, this is what I think of his prattle. There, we needn't worry our heads about what he says.
Mozart, is that wise? To toss his words so carelessly into the flame?
Yes, it is. Truthfully, my father may as well have written so carelessly with the very same flames. I believe it's befitting for such unkind behaviour towards those who gladly obliged me.
You're a kind man, and I truly hope your time with us has been thus far satisfactory.
It has been, honestly. I'm appalled that my father would spew such slanderous nonsense. Thus, as I said I would, I've written a response to his accusations. Rest assured, this matter will be settled in due time, and quickly.
I'm grateful, Mozart.
None of that. I don't mind being called Wolfgang, or Wolfel, if you feel inclined. I think I'd prefer to Herr Mozart all the time. In fact, you cannot call me Herr Mozart unless you are cross with me. And I will not answer it. Do you hear?
All right then, Wolferl. I suppose I'll leave you to your work, but I was wondering...
Yes, is there something I can help you with, Miss Weber?
Help? Oh no, you see, Our family has tickets to an opera this weekend, and we'd invited a friend. But she's fallen sick with a bad cold, and it'd be a waste of a ticket. Therefore, I suppose I'm wondering, would you join us in her stead?
I would be delighted to accompany your family to the theatre, Madam Webber.
How wonderful! I look forward to it.
Is there something more, Madam Webber?
Indeed, there is. For the future, I prefer Constanza, or Stanza, if you feel inclined, or Fiddle. You cannot call me Miss or Madam.
You have my word, dear Stansel. I shall only call you Miss Webber when I'm cross with you. Dearest father, I could expect nothing else but that in your first burst of anger. Having felt so sure of seeing me, and the event having taken you quite by surprise, you would write in the very strain which I have been obliged to read. But by this time you must have thought better of the matter, and as a man of honour, feel more strongly the insult, and must know and see that what you thought likely to occur has already occurred. To have to get away from Salzburg would have been every day more difficult, for there the Archbishop is lord and master, but here a nobody, just as I am in his eyes. Besides, believe me, such is my warm love for you, that if the Archbishop had given me 100 gulden more, I would have accepted them, and then it would have been the old story over again. I assure you, my good father, I need all my manly energy of mind to write to you what good sense dictates. God knows what a heavy blow it was to separate from you, but I would rather beg for my bread than any longer serve such a callous master. So long as I live, I can never forget the past. I implore you, I adjure you, by all you hold dear in the world, to strengthen me in this resolution, instead of trying to dissuade me from it, for it only makes me miserable and idle. My wish and my hope is to gain honour, fame, and money, and I have every confidence that I shall be far more useful to you in Vienna than if I was still in Salzburg. I also must confess that what you write of the Webbers, I do assure you, is not the fact. I was a fool about Madame Lange, I own, but what is a man not when he is in love? I did love Logia, truly, and even now I feel that she is not indifferent to me. It is perhaps, therefore, fortunate that her husband is a jealous man and never leaves her, so that I seldom have an opportunity of seeing her. You must in turn believe me when I say that old Madame Webber is and has been a very obliging person, and I cannot serve her in return, in proposition to her kindness to me, for indeed I have no time to do so. I eagerly expect a letter from you, my good kind father. Cheer up your old son, for the idea of displeasing you can alone make him unhappy under such promising circumstances. Adieu. 1,000 good wishes. If you can't, however, believe that I have stayed here merely out of hatred of Salzburg and a foolish infatuation for Vienna, then make an inquiry, Herr von Struck, in the service of the Emperor, who is a great friend of mine, will no doubt write you the truth. Faithfully, your ever dutiful son, W.A. Mozart. Father, I have never shown any love for you. Rubbish. Lord help me. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh. Yes. What is it?
Oh, goodness me, Herr Mozart. I wasn't expecting you to open the door. I'm sorry, is now a bad time?
Slightly, yes. However, what can I do to be of assistance to you, little Sophie?
Constanza mentioned she'd invited you to the opera tomorrow evening. Do you have proper clothes, sir?
Huh? The opera? Gracious me, I nearly forgot that it's tomorrow eve.
Indeed it is. I hope you'll wear your very best frock, provided you have one.
Well, I am not exactly. There doesn't happen to be a tailor in town, is there? I've got this old suit and frock, but not much else. I'm ashamed to admit.
Sophia, the washing needs done.
I see Mama needs me, but, yes, I believe there's a tailor in the lower quarter, sir. You might be quite successful to find something there which suits your needs.
I'll see to it. Immediately. Right. Thank you. Right. I suppose there's no point in wasting my time here. My fingers are stained and aching. And I can't go to the opera in these rags. Do it all. Better see if I have enough funds to pay the tailor. Oh, confound it to hell! I can't afford a new frock at all. What am I to tell Miss Webber? I've got it. I should cancel the plans with her. I have to. I can't be seen in such tattered wares. I can't.
Wolfgang?
Blasted scoundrel. Scoundrel, Archbishop, scoundrel. Ragamuffin. Ragamuffin, scoundrel, bah! I'll show you a damn ragamuffin, you pompous bloody snake. Souls.
Wolfgang?
Blasted Archbishop Salzburg. Souls. Vienna.
Wolfgang? Is everything all right?
Huh? Miss Webber. Hello, I mean, Stancil. I was just, I was just, you caught me in a rather sticky situation, you see.
Can I be of assistance to you?
No, especially as I'm afraid the situation is rather an embarrassment to me, madam. I feel trying to help would be impossible at
Oh,
best.
that's not true. Nothing can be entirely impossible to tackle. After all, it takes courage and perseverance to get to the next step. Tell me how I can help, and let's try together.
The truth is, I don't have any proper clothes for the opera. And I'm ashamed over the state of my purse.
The state of your purse? Oh, really, Wolfie, it's all right. You know, to be short on ducats.
But this isn't funny at all. It's entirely serious, I assure you. I have nothing but rags to wear, and I'd feel ashamed to appear as such at the opera.
Rags or not, you don't need fancy dress nor trillion wigs to impress. And you needn't be ashamed. What you have is plenty. And besides, I have a solution until such a time that you can afford something more fashionable.
You do?
Amazingly. I have a talent for sewing. And I'll make you something if you're truly in need. But for now, come with me. I've a trunk full of Papa's old clothes, and there's bound to be something in there that can be of assistance to you.
Oh, Constanza, I would feel quite morbid. Not to be rude, of course, but there's a sacred item. They were your father's. And I don't wish to don articles of great significance. It feels wrong.
It's all right. I don't think Papa would mind. And besides, all they do is collect dust since his passing.
Are you quite certain?
Of course. Come along. I'll show you what remains.
Oh, Providence spare me. It's quite brisk in this room. Oh.
Yes, it's been isolated for 5 years. We have no use for it, to be truthful.
It's quite all right. I imagine you wouldn't. After all, who's this stuff?
Good health to you. Oh, my apologies for the state of the room. It's hardly touched these days. But we won't linger here long, I promise.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Miss Constanza, if it's
Yes.
not trouble, could I borrow, if you might clean them, from your father's collection of books?
These old things? Certainly. They're getting no use from us. I'll clean them off for you.
Thank you. I'll treat them with the utmost care. I see he has the Odyssey, too. I rather like those. But I shan't touch them before you clean them.
Yes, you're welcome. Now then, come this way, if you could. The wardrobe of Papa's clothes are over by the wall with the fireplace. It may be stuck. Do give me a hand if you can.
Certainly. Forgive me, Miss Stansel.
No! I'm sorry. Oh, this room is awful. Now then, let's see. There's quite a bit in here Papa was very fond of. My apologies. You can wait outside and I'll bring them to you if you need.
Forgive me, Miss Stansel. I'm perfectly fit, I assure you. Let's see what remains.
What about this one? Lavender in colour and quite pleasing.
Ooh. I quite like this one, yes. Are there breeches to match?
I think so. I'll dig around the locker Papa has and let you know. I could always fix them to fit you. After all, Father was of a different stature than you.
I say, what about that one there?
Which one?
Well, I'm partial to this one. It's quite the spectacle of a piece. Oh, this red frock.
That was his favourite. He used to wear it around special occasions, and he danced with my mother at Christmas time in it.
I'm sorry if this has upset you, Stanton. I can put it away. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Let's see it,
How do I look?
It suits you. I think with a little polish and a little fix-up, the two we picked will look dashingly handsome on you.
Honoured and grateful, madam.
Of course. If ever you're in need of anything, I'm here to be of assistance to you.
And so will I for you, madam. You've given me much kindness, and I thank you for this, Stansel. Please allow me to repay it tenfold.
Come with me to the opera. That's all I require of you, Wolfgang.
I'll get ready right away, Miss Stansel.
Good. Now then, let's hurry on out of here.
I don't need you catching another cold.
Aye, you may come in.
Good afternoon, Wolfgang. I brought you something.
Good afternoon, Miss Stanzel. What is it?
A meal, of course. People need food to survive, you know.
Do they? I was hardly aware of such a fact.
Well, then it's good for me to remind you. And it's even better for you to put down the quill and come out with the family tonight.
You're a kind soul, Constanza, but I cannot. I've been commissioned to compose 6 operas, and I'm drowning in their structure.
Then I insist that you need to put your work away and come dancing tonight.
You're a good deal stubborn, you know.
And you're quite so full of compliments, you know.
Am I, Miss Constanza? That's quite forward of you. I'm impressed.
So that's a yes to tonight's dance, I take it? Well?
It's a perhaps. If you'd allow me to finish this last bit of my work, I may join you for tonight's dance. However, where exactly is it, if I might ask?
It's at a rather pretentious actor's estate, I've been told. Apparently Mama found an invitation to the affair stuffed in the mail this morning.
A delight, then. I'll join you shortly. I promise.
Good. You're in here too much, Wolfgang. Sometimes I worry about you.
I'm content in here. There's plenty of work to be done, and it must be done. You know how my father has always insisted that I keep searching for more constant work, especially after the incident with the Archbishop.
It sounds more like there's a great deal of pressure placed upon you. I swear he wishes for you to work yourself to the grave, Wolfgang.
Yes, he does seem a little insistent these days.
See? I know that the whole of Vienna believes in your work, and it's beautiful nonetheless. You work hard to prove as much, but even geniuses need a time to breathe. Your father should understand that.
Perhaps you're right, but my father will never see it that way. He's a good man, and a hard one at that. And I know he pushes me to work and work often because he has a love for me. And even from Salzburg. I must provide for him. For Nanelle. It's my duty to them both.
But isn't it a strange way to show one's love, Wolfgang?
Listen, it may very well be that you're right. On a matter of things. But I don't believe it's proper for us to discuss it. And I must get on with this, or else I cannot join you. While I appreciate the concern for my well-being, and the meal, it's quite full. I beg of you to excuse me.
You're welcome for the meal, and I'll see you tonight, Herr Mozart.
Stancy. Herr Mozart. She hardly called me that. Since the incident with Papa's cruel letter a few days earlier. Wait a moment.
Whatever did I say to cause such a sudden coldness?
If we lose you, Herr Mozart, we can find you.
Is that so?
You do sort of stand out. Like a burnt chicken.
Oh, Joe, that's rude.
If the chicken turned this colour, I fear I should be quite scared to eat it.
Mine looks as pale as butter. Don't you think, Herr Mozart?
It's as beautiful as a buttercup, but certainly not butter. You're rather quiet. Is something on your mind?
I agree. You're being rather quiet, Stanzi. It's not like you.
Go ahead of us, little Sophie. You and Madame Josephina go on to the party and do have some cake. Miss Webber and I will be along shortly. I guarantee it.
Stanzel, you had better be kind to Wolfie.
I sense you're unhappy with me, and I want to fully apologize if I came off curtly at any point today.
You were curt this afternoon, in fact. Especially on the subject of your father.
You're right. I admit that I didn't very well listen to you. Did I?
No, you didn't. And all I meant to imprint upon you is that I simply do not think a love like your father's is good for one's constitution. Especially provided that you're expected to never breathe. You'll suffer because of his expectations, mark my words.
Then I ask you to forget my father. Forget his ideals and his thoughts on the working man, of honour and duty, and most importantly, dignity.
Then, is this resignation or revolution?
Is it what, madam?
You said forget his ideals. If we forget the ideals of our fathers, though, perhaps we differ on what makes a good father, especially his affections of love for us. Is that resignation or revolution?
I hardly understand what you mean, but what I do feel, and strongly so, is that this entire subject is petty. It's pure rubbish to dwell on, Constanza, and I'm tired of it.
Rubbish? Truly? Then tell me, do you think differently than your father?
On what merit, madam?
Do you think differently on the merit that if one is not grinding their fingers daily to the bone, then they're of little value? That society should shove them off as your father so shoved you off in his wretched letters?
Indeed, it must be said that, yes. My father is a perplexing man, I admit. He's, well, traditional in every way. And he worked tirelessly towards where he is, no doubt expecting his only son to follow in his shadow. And so, I suppose, I shall.
Is that what you want? Truly? To follow in his footsteps?
It's what I expected.
and there's little I can do to change that.
I don't understand. You're here, and he's there. What can he do to you now? You've got the whole of Vienna to be your own man, Wolferl.
It doesn't work in such a manner as that, Stanzi. First and foremost is God, my work, and then my papa. I cannot disregard his will simply because I'm separated from him.
That's not true.
Heavens help me! Why must you act with such disdain and dismissal, Stanzel? This is how Papa has always been. He's made my life exactly how it is. What am I supposed to want? I'm afraid your sentiments and thoughts are all for naught, and this, our current standings, are but a pointless squabble.
It's certainly not a pointless squabble.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
I protest otherwise.
Yes, it is. You protest sheer poppycock. Lord, give me strength. Can we not drop this? Please.
Mozart,
Please. Please, Madam Weber. I beg of you. Will you not simply allow me the pleasure of a dance with you? I would much prefer it to quarrelling over authority. It's a trifle more, and I do not wish to lose my temper further.
Fine. Consider the matter folded.
Thank heavens for that. Shall we?
Indeed. Do lead on.
I'm inclined to inquire, does the coal of your ire from our earlier conversation still burn, madam?
Do I detect curiosity, Mozart?
You may. Would that be so wrong?
Perhaps not. But I thought we were to drop the subject, for it was, as you quite delicately snarled, pure rubbish.
A rather foolish and unkind phrase, chosen to the downfall of my own heart.
Yes, though it would seem you choose many careless phrases.
Yes, I did. I do. However, Constanza, all I desire to ask, and ask with every ounce of humility in my heart, is on the basis of your passion towards me.
And what of my passions? On what basis are you asking these things?
Come on now. You know exactly what basis.
Oh, do I? I thought my sentiments were all for naught.
You're impossible! I admit that I may have brushed aside your questions and concerns hastily. I was unjust. I know this. And I beg you to forgive my wretched tongue. It blazes with a mind of its own.
You ask for forgiveness of your impulsive dismissal regarding my questions and concerns?
Yes. Most humbly I am. As I have nothing but respect for you. You've cared for me in illness, and you've given me much more than I deserve. Truly. I do not wish for my ill-gotten tongue to ruin this, too. I earnestly don't desire for you to be indifferent towards me, madam.
Far from it. I'm not indifferent to you, Wolferl. I'm just...
You're what? Exactly.
After your collapse, Wolferl, I don't mean to be so forward, but I was deeply fearful for your health, and I still am. The way you work yourself all those hours, it's near unbearable to me. And I only prodded the way I did because the last thing I'd ever want is for you to exhaust yourself.
I understand your concern, but this is my life, and its great sacrifice is that of personal pleasure.
You have my condolences, then.
Why? Ever since I was a child, I've only known this kind of life. To work in this manner as I do, it's second nature to me. After all, it's been my company, my friend, and the only one I'll have.
It sounds to be rather a lonely existence to me.
It has been.
Wolfero, what do you mean by...
Wolfie, come dance with me.
Certainly. You must excuse me, Stanzel. It seems I'm needed elsewhere for the moment.
I must be a fool. My heart flutters so. For one moment I had a fleeting thought that he was looking into my heart with those beautiful, uncorrupted eyes of his. I thought for one moment that his words were some indicator of a need for compassion and companionship. Yet I must be mistaken, for he has his music, his masses of admiration, and his whole world and all that he ever will be. There they lay, contained in those melodies and sonatas. I must be foolish. For what good could I do? What could I dare to bring for a man such as this, when the whole world waits at his fingertips?
Wolfie, hello.
Hello, Sophia. Is your sister preoccupied? I'd very much like to see her.
Yes, she's up. Just finished the washing, and now Stancy's taken to writing. See?
Oh, I do. Could I trouble you for a moment alone with her? I promise you'll have her to yourself all day once I'm done. But I must hurry. I'm afraid I can't dally in the house today.
Of course. I've got milk to fetch from the butcher's today, after all. Farewell, Wolfie.
Adieu.
Oh, Wolfero, hello. I thought I heard Sophia speaking to you a minute ago. Whatever can I help you with?
Oh, not a thing. Nothing. Although it would bring me the most endearment of pleasure. If you would accept this token?
This is unexpected. What's the occasion?
No occasion, just... Well, I wanted to give my thanks to you.
It's a beautiful bouquet, but whatever for?
Your kindness, of course. Your concern for me was unexpected, Miss Webber. I find myself entirely in your debt. However, furthermore, I wanted to make amends, if that's remotely possible.
I appreciate your compliments, sir. And the roses are lovely, but... make amends for what?
My behaviour at the dance last night. It was ungentlemanly of me, and improper, to behave as I did towards you. You see, I'm an impulsive man at my worst. I'm foul-tongued, and oft ridiculous. But you did nothing to incur such a verbal lashing, nor my dismissal, Stanzel. I wasn't justified in my actions towards you. I've made plenty of fool of myself with this tongue of mine. And I wouldn't want it to burn you, for I enjoy your company immensely.
Well, I'm flattered you value me, and you're forgiven, Wolferl. We're fallible, after all. Even my own brash tongue was not justified, and I spoke out of turn to you. A feat I sincerely apologize for.
It's all right. I know the consequences of brashness all too well. It seems to follow me around like some internal storm. And I can't help it. I must simply say whatever comes to my head.
Wolfie, you seem a touch uncomfortable. I have a handkerchief if you require.
I appreciate the offer, but I'm as fit as a fiddle. Although, you have my sincerest apologies for my fidgeting. Seems the perfume and the roses are overwhelming. Anyhow, I must seem ridiculous last night, as much as I do now. I certainly sound as such. And I hope, earnestly I do, that you would accept my sincere apologies.
Certainly, you are forgiven, Wolferl. And I do hope you will forgive my own forward tongue. On the subject of last night, I mean.
I do, Stanzel. You're forgiven. And my heart is glad to hear you've found forgiveness of my mistakes too. However now, I sadly must be off. I've a meeting with Countess Thon for a chance to perform in her court.
Oh, Wolferl, that's wonderful.
It is, isn't it? Oh, wish me luck. I'm a little nervous.
Of course. All the finest luck be with you.
Grazie, madam. Adieu.
Adieu, Wolferl. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. He's a strange fellow, but I can't help smiling at his gesture with the flowers. He's charming, he's ridiculous, and yes, he's completely impulsive. He's a temperamental man, but at least he recognizes his own faults. Perhaps I misjudged him. Perhaps it's entirely possible that I was in the wrong last night. Truly, I don't know entirely what to make of this flutter I feel towards him. However, I won't forget his gaze last night. Those honest, sweet eyes. That twinge of sadness and loneliness. There was pain behind them, and perhaps longing. It seemed as such to me, that perhaps music, despite it being his companion, hasn't always been the best of company. He's like any of us, unusual, boisterous, flawed, need of patience, companionship, and laughter. Heavens, laughter. That funny little giggle of his. It's completely infectious and I can hardly hold my own back in his presence. I won't deny. When he's in joy, that smile as he laughs. Who could denounce its charm? He's so amiable and bright, despite his own troubles. Yes, indeed. Mozart is a lot of things. Complicated and perplexing, and the world he's lived in seems so far away when compared to mine. But I think at his core, he's a kind-hearted man. Even with every flaw, there is something beautiful in between it all.
Stanzi, can I ask you something?
Always.
Do you love Wolfie?
That's quite forward, Sophie. I mean, we all love him, don't we?
I love him, sure. He's kind and he's funny, but I love him as a little sister loves their elder brother. And I think Mama tolerates him, but that's not my question at all. I want to know if you love him.
Sophia, Wolfgang is... Mozart is a guest in our home, and we've had many guests of both fine gentlemen and ladies over the last few months.
I suppose we have. And the gentleman before Wolfie smelled of smoke and wine. I know it's odd, but he's always so warm and charming. When he's around, Wolfie smells like lavender and cinnamon and ink.
That's a touch of a strange sentiment, but true nonetheless. Still, allow us to return to your inquiry. You asked if I loved him. I hardly see how I can love him. I barely know Wolfgang, and besides, our worlds are too different to ever be anything other than good friends.
But he gave you flowers. I saw them in the bedroom earlier. Surely that's a token of love.
Flowers can be a token of friendship too. He was merely asking for forgiveness. He and I quarrelled last night and our tongues grew heated. He wanted to know if amends were possible, and I told him yes. I surely had no intention of breaking his heart by rejecting his gift. He's too sweet a soul.
That's very sweet of you, but do you think he loves you, or could?
I believe what Wolfgang and I have is the beginning of a beautiful companionship, but I doubt he'll stay with us long enough for anything more to bloom. He's a composer. He can't stay here forever. Eventually, he'll fly away again.
I don't want him to leave us again. I wish Wolfie would stay.
I wish he would too. But I know one day another city will call his name, and he'll be off traveling, seeing the world.
Maybe he can take us. I want to sing with Wolfie all over the world.
I know. But I don't believe our heart's desire is possible. I'm sure he'd think you were sweet all the same.
I love Wolfie. He's funny like Pierre, and I wish he could be part of our family. He makes the house happy again, like Papa once did.
He does have quite the infectious laugh, doesn't he?
He does. It's a very silly laugh. He sounds like a horse when he laughs.
Heavens, he does have a silly laugh. Oh, but it's so sweet, too. I must admit I find it hard not to laugh with him.
Yes, he really brightens up the whole room, like sunshine. Wolfie is bright as the sun in the sky. Oh, but, and this is something you mustn't tell him, Stanza, you promise. Well, sometimes, if I'm doing chores, I listen at his door as he plays the violin. I can't help it. His playing sounds so beautiful and majestic. But I beg of you, please say nothing to him. You must promise not to tell.
I won't tell him. I promise.
Yay! I've been accepted! Countess Tharn wants my music performed in her court. Ha ha! Yay!
Oh, Fadl, this is wonderful!
Oh. It is wonderful, isn't it?
Wolfie, please don't go far away. This work won't take you far away, will it?
Now, why would I want to do that, Where might I be without your cheerful smile in the morning? I'd be quite sad if I had to go away from you and Constanza. Although, I admit, there may be times I have to travel. I've decided to call Vienna my home. So, even if I must leave for a different apartment some day, I will always be here in the city. I won't be far away. I can promise that. And this job is here, in Vienna.
Good. I would miss you if I couldn't visit, but if you went away, would you take me with you? I want to sing all across the globe with you.
If I went away? That's a sad statement. But of course you'd come with me. We'd see Prague, of course, and perhaps Rome. Can you imagine us performing in a place like Berlin?
London too? I've heard it's so big.
Yes, London. Oh, I adored London as a child. It was so big and so fascinating and beautiful. The people had funny accents, but it was wild and exciting. We would see everything, for certain.
So, Fadl, tell us, how many concerts did she ask you to perform?
Oh, right. I'm glad you're curious. Countess Tharn has commissioned me to perform 6 concerts, and she's paid up front a considerable amount of ducats.
Oh, this is thrilling!
Indeed. I'll be able to pay the bill for the lodgings here, and perhaps even earn enough to get a new frock.
Oh, this is incredible! I'm relieved the meeting was a success.
It really was, wasn't it? Heavens, I'm so overwhelmed I could burst.
Congratulations, Wolfie. I'm sure your concerts will bring you a great reward.
Thank you, Sophia. And I hope so. It seems things are finally going to turn around.
I'm overjoyed for you, Mozart. You've needed the odds to fall in your favour for quite some time. And it's good they have.
I feel like celebrating. I could shout and run and do a handstand all at the same time. Let's sing something. Come. Sing with me.
Of course. What shall we sing?
I've heard a funny little tune lately. English in origin, so it's bound to be vulgar. But it's that, or soil our tongues with that ridiculous song from the colonies. Yankee Poodle Canoodle or something. Bah! Rubbish!
Which song called?
Can't exactly recall. But never mind that. I know the tune nonetheless. Here, I'll play it on the piano. Although, I think it's supposed to be on the violin or something.
Summer has arrived, and we sing cuckoo. The seed is growing, the meadow's blowing, and the wood is coming leaf now. Sing cuckoo. The eve is bleeding after her lamb, the cow is lowing after her calf. Like prancing Billy Goat fighting, sing merrily, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo.
Summer has arrived, loudly sing cuckoo. The seed is grown and the meadow's blooming and the wood is coming into leaf now. Sing cuckoo. The ewe is bleating after a lamb, the cow is lowing after a calf. The bullock is prancing, the billy goat's farting. Sing merrily, cuckoo, coo. You sing well, cuckoo, never stop now. Sing cuckoo now, sing cuckoo. Sing cuckoo now. Now that was fun, wasn't it?
Indeed. You're quite the loveliest singer, Herr Mozart.
The loveliest singer? Singer? Bah! It was only your performances that stood out to me. I'm better a composer than I am a singer. 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 Singer.
Wolfie?
Yes?
Why do you do that?
Do what?
Singer. Bloody stupid owl.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say things like a parrot.
It's all right. But I am curious why you do it, I suppose.
Well, I...
It's okay if you don't know, Wolfie. It's a little funny, but then again, didn't you say we have to be ninnies in order to survive for them?
I suppose we must. But, truthfully, I've had a funny... singer... Well, everything since I was a child. I laugh like a trained donkey. I don't have fine handwriting, and sometimes I can hardly pay attention to anything beyond my music. I get distracted. I repeat words, as Papa says, like a pretty parrot. Sometimes I feel the most insustainable itch to say things over and over. It's quite funny, isn't it? There I go. I swear my hands and feet must have a mind of their own, because they're always moving. And I don't know why, but I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Oh, hush, hush. I must, like Papa says. Hush. Hush, little Wolfle. Mustn't insult others with our words now. Is there something wrong?
I'm looking for that, you see? Something wrong, I mean. But...
What is it? Singer! Singer! Ah!
But all I see is you're still our Wolfie.
That's a relief. I was anxious for a moment or two. Still am. Oh, goodness.
You're all right. Right, sister? Wolfie is fine. Isn't he, Stanzi?
He certainly is.
You're both kind. And I thank you. Although, I do apologize for my strange behaviors. I can't help it. Sometimes.
You needn't be concerned. No one will think little of you here. Least of all Sophia and I.
Heaven spare me! What on earth is all
My
this
apologies,
racket?
madam. We were celebrating, you see. I've received the most wonderful of news. I'm to perform my music at the Countess Thorne's Royal Court. 6 operas. 6! Oh, God has smiled on me, I swear it.
You're to do what?
Concerts, madam. I'll have enough funds to repay you generously, Madam Webber. Make no mistake.
I'll be damned. You're actually serious.
Yes, here. I'll pay the rest, of course. When it's given to me.
Well, that was certainly something. But with that, I do think we have more work to attend to, girls. More important than whatever you were doing moments ago?
Yes, Mama. I'll attend to the rest of the dusting and sweep up the rooms.
Yes, Mama. I'll attend to the linens right away.
Oh, Fobbywobs. Fobbywobs. It's always work. Lots of it and no time for anything else.
And here I thought your work was your companion, sir.
I did say that, didn't I? I suppose work is futile. However, if one never gets to live, Miss Webber?
I suppose so.
All right, then. I suppose I do have to get on with those operas for Countess Thorne. She arranged for me to attend some dinner meeting with her later, too. And I'll be called upon soon. Her servant said as much. Pardon me, Miss Webber. I didn't quite catch that.
Just as well. You're probably deaf from all the shrill noise you made.
Wow! I hope I didn't overwhelm you, Lady Webber. I'd hate to impose on such stuffiness.
You what? Repeat what you just said.
Gladly, you old clod.
I think Mozart simply wanted to indulge in the excitement of his achievement, Mamma. Isn't that what you meant, sir?
Well, naturally, yes. I mean, what else would one do if such a joyous occasion has come rolling through? Would you have me stare at the wallpaper in giddiness? Do a little stitching. Although, we could dance too. There's always that option.
Excitement is one thing, Herr Mozart, and I am grateful that it provided funds for your rather late on the fee. But to shriek about as a wild goose is completely unnecessary.
You call that shrieking? I can give you a shriek, if you wish.
Mamma, Mozart, listen.
There's nothing wrong with a little joy. Besides, we haven't had such things like singing and joyous carousing since Papa passed.
Indeed. I had fun with your song, Herr Mozart. I'm sure another moment will come for us to enjoy soon.
I hope so too. Adieu for now. I'm going upstairs to write or lie down. Maybe both. Who knows? Madam Weber. Pop a stick in the old mud. Oh, codder.
That man is an absolute knave! He's a complete and utter lout!
Mama, enough! You used to be full of life, as much as Herr Mozart is. Why spoil the moment with such callous behaviour?
Mark my words, Constanze. His tongue will land him in the deepest of wells, and he'll be the one to blame.